civic center, you know, lease review. Maybe we can look at these ball fields and even discuss, you know, other alternative plans for what can be done out there to generate revenue. Whether some of that property could be set aside, or, maybe used to entice business.
What are you talking about there? Which land set aside?
The property we have on the bypass. I mean, how many total acres is there?
We bought 109, 109 joined 45 that we already own, so that's 154 acres. Which takes in where the old ball field sits over there, that area there, and the property we already own over there. Just Martin Luther King. Why don't we do this, Councilman Carter, if you would be willing to do this? Why don't we structure, you got to be careful in setting committees because you'll get in trouble with that if you're elected officials on committees. But why don't we get you, and we need the people who are managing the sports complex over there to have input in this because they're the ones that run the day-to-day programs of that, along with the staff that's running the soccer organization, and set up some meetings and let you sit down and talk and see exactly, you know, where we are, what they need, what their wants and wishes are, and then you bring it back to the council.
I mean, I know it's Mayor Pro Tem's district, and I'd like, you know, his input. Is that part of public works?
Okay, that end would be, yes.
Yes, and, or part of the Parks and Recreation, and I know he has some great ideas and some input as to what needs to happen over there. I know we have employees and folks in public works that have input, but I think we ought to get that input also from the citizens. Any type of activity we can get out there to show that our initial investment is not only a good one, but what can we do inexpensively to promote the next phase of building so that we can get public input to back up that next 7-figure price tag of whatever it needs to happen.
Well, I think if the way I was trying to go is take the people who run the softball programs over there and the baseball programs, along with the soccer folks who manage that, along with you, Councilman Carter, and you meet with them, and let's just have, and Councilman Washington, he wants to be a part of that, since it's in his district, then we'll go from there, and you can bring it back to the council as what your decision will be, what information you can glean from this.
I'd be willing to
Is
take
that
on the
satisfactory
task.
with you folks?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Washington, satisfactory with you?
Mayor, satisfaction to the point. I also like to stress, I am the liaison of Park and Rec. And to the gentlemen out here, the rest of you, this is my first to hear anything that's going on. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir. An item that we could not get to in the work session, but it's softball tournament schedules and updates.
Mayor, I want to thank you for putting that in a package, and I don't know, Peggy, do you have a copy of that? Has it been printed in the paper, the softball schedule and tournament? Yes, get it printed so that people can plan and come spend more money in Wetumpka. So, again, thank you for providing that schedule. It looks like an exciting season for softball.
I think those 20 some odd tournaments, and I think one of those tournaments is a 64-team tournament, which is humongous. You know, we have a 30-team tournament, 26 to 30-team tournament, and we got parking problems. We really have parking problems with that, and that's when you expended funds to do the gravel parking on the back side. But it really brings a lot of people in. But we'll move forward with it. Okay. Item 6. 6-month financial review update.
Mayor, it's nice to see Janice breathe. I think, you know, now that we're 6 months into this fiscal year, you know, I think we've all had chances to talk, you know, whether it be in generalities, but maybe we can get together and set a date to review the budget, see if there's any tweaking that we need to do between now and the end of the year.
I will have it by the next meeting. I had planned to have it, this was my goal, and I didn't make it.
No,
But
understood.
We've actually got 3 weeks, we've got a 5th Monday coming up, so I definitely can have everything, and it's possible that we might start the work session like at 5 o'clock for the first hour to review that. That might be a consideration.
No,
But I will have it all together.
we're getting close to that 6 month, or actually
We're
past
past the
6
6
months.
months, we've passed the 7th month.
And we're fixing to be into,
Yeah,
you know,
it's time to
planning
start
for the
the
next
new-
fiscal
right,
year, so I
right.
mean, the, whatever changes, or
Oh,
maybe
I think-
whatever highlights are coming for the new fiscal year, may be able to,
Right.
we can
I
forecast
feel
and
like
see that.
that we're going to be able to keep the bottom line the same by tweaking line items where we've got some excess and some and need some, but I will have it all by the next meeting.
You have the same numbers that were sent out in your packets that I have, but I'm reading those numbers myself. It looks as though right now that we're about $60,000 up from where we were this time last year.
Sales tax.
Sales tax, which is good. We were $10,000 off this last month in sales tax collections, but we look at our good neighbors over to the west, and they were $90,000 off. So it's been tough, but I want to commend the department heads for being diligent in how they have managed their departments and have not bombarded us with wants. They're dealing more with needs, and I think Janice preached that so much that I'm afraid to do anything else right now. But anyhow, it's we're okay in the town right now. If the sales tax stay, you know, where it is, and hopefully it's going to increase some, that we will be okay. It's been a tough year. Okay, and item 7, BAST update.
Yeah, how about, BASS is coming back this year, and I know that they had been bought out by another organization, but any updates, you know, scheduling, how do we look?
From the information that I got from them, I think it was last week, a team of BAST people came in, and Trip Weldon, along with Trip Weldon, and met with us and went over some things. I think the tournament is going to run a little different this time than it did before. We'll still have 12 elite top fishermen in the world in here, but the brackets and the way they're going to be fishing is going to be a little different. It's going to come down to a fish off between 2 people. I think 4 people eliminates down to 2 people. And they talked about maybe doing the setup a little bit different this year. We were fortunate last year that this doesn't cost the city any money. We have a sponsor that puts up the money that BASS requires. So it's not an expense to the city. But we were approached by Foundation, Elmore County Community Foundation, that would like to do a barbecue cook-off along with this tournament this time, possibly looking at additional entertainment this time with it, and doing it in the venue you and I looked at a couple of years ago behind it, the administrative building playing back to the river. Used that site yesterday. It looks like it is really a great setup for concerts and activities like this. But that's all I know right now. Michael Malone, who was with ESPN, and ESPN still handles all the filming and the showing of these tournaments. So that's basically what it is. And the next few days it'll be coming down with the So 23rd and 24th of July, rather than going and beginning the fishing at daybreak, it's going to start later in the morning and then fish later in the afternoon and try to have a weigh-in a little bit cooler of the day. instead of